everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So if you've been tuning in since the beginning of 2025, when this is recorded, you will know that I have adopted a plant-based lifestyle. I'm not calling it a diet because it's not going to be temporary. It's just the way that I'm living now. And so the challenge for me is, hey, how can I still come up with some amazing recipes, something good, delicious, and if it's plant-based, it's going to be healthy. And I actually ran across this recipe. It's called tortilla soup with lentils. And I already have a recipe out there for chicken tortilla soup. And so this is really kind of like a modification of that existing recipe, minus the chicken, but adding a few more vegetables to make it a little bit more robust, okay? So pretty simple, and we're gonna make it right here in my Dutch oven. So the way we're gonna start, I try to limit the amount of oil I use now. And so we're going to be sauteing bell peppers, onions, and I just use like a tablespoon of water just to get it going. And then I'm going to just put in my bell pepper and my onions, and I'm going to saute it just as I normally would. Okay, so my heat is already kind of nice and hot, so we're going to let this kind of saute a little bit. And again, totally delicious, flavorful. I don't know, we always thought you needed to cook everything or saute everything with oil, but guess what? It's not necessary. So I'm just going to turn this a little bit like so. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our garlic to that. So let's do that. Let's add our minced garlic. If you're tuning in and this is the first time you've been with me, all of the ingredients and all of the quantities are in the comments, the description. So just look below. A lot of times I'll get messages from people and they'll say, well, you didn't give me the quantities. It's all in the description. The premise behind my show is really to help people to learn how to cook a dish. And so I give you all of the ingredients. You can always come back and look at how I make the dish if you'd like to do that. So this is looking good. It's smelling good. To this now, I'm going to add just a bountiful mix of herbs. So we have cumin in here. We have chili powder, salt, and pepper. Now, one note on the salt and pepper. I usually tell you just start out with 1/4 of a teaspoon to start out. Now, if you like things a little saltier, guess what? Just add your salt to it. But start there, and especially because we're going to be using vegetable broth, and this does tend to have some sodium in it, and so it brings some of the salt with it, okay? All right, this is looking good. It's actually smelling good. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding some of the other ingredients. And once we add everything, we're gonna let it just kind of simmer for about 30 minutes, okay? All right, now that we have that in there, I'm gonna add some green chili, yum. If you don't have green chili, you can just take a jalapeno and you can dice it up and maybe take the seeds out so it won't be so hot. And you can put it in just like that, okay? And now we have some diced tomato, 2 cans. And again, you'll see this. These are 14-ounce cans, or if you just have 1 28-ounce can. Woo, so delicious. And again, I'm being a little generous on the vegetables. Why? Because we don't have chicken here, or sausage, or anything else to bring this together, so you know we're gonna be robust with our vegetables. All right, this is looking good. It's smelling good. Everything's coming together just nicely. So what I'm gonna do to this now is I'm going to add my vegetable broth, and we need this because we're gonna need the liquids in order to cook the lentils. Okay, So we're gonna go on and put in, I'm gonna put in 4 cups. Again, all of the measurements will be there for you. But we're gonna do 4 cups of vegetable broth, like so. Okay. And I'm gonna go and put in the lentils, and we're gonna add our beans. I've got some black beans and I have some corn. So if you want, they're really just warming those up, so it's not necessary to cook them that long. So it's really up to you. I think what I am going to do, because my heat, by the way, is kind of on high right now because I wanted to saute those peppers and the onions. We're gonna go on and add it now. This is really just 1 can of corn. Again, as I said, we wanna make sure we're heavy on the vegetables. And this is a can of black beans, okay? So you can't take this out the bag. You're gonna need to take it out of the can. Okay, all right, now we've got that going. It looks so delicious, I'm telling you, it looks so good, so good. And then the last thing we're going to add, get this stuff kind of out of the way, is we're gonna add some cilantro. So just about this much, right? Just about enough to squeeze in your hands. We're gonna cut it up with our nice herb scissors, and if you love these as much as I do, you're not sure where to find it, you can get them on Amazon. Just look in the comment and you'll see these herb scissors there. They just do such an amazing job of getting, slicing up the herbs exactly as you need them to be, okay? And then I usually just do this to get rid of it, get them out of the scissors. Okay, ooh, love the smell of cilantro. My sister's not a cilantro fan, but I love cilantro. I love cilantro on so many levels. All right, now what we're gonna do, it's looking so amazing, and I will, of course, you'll have a picture of this so you can see how scrumptious it looks. I'm going to now just turn this down on a medium heat. So I headed up to on 1 to 7. I'm going to take this down to about 5, and then I'm going to put a lid on it. So I'll get my lid, but don't seal the lid completely, okay? So just leave a little space on the lid. So we're going to do that for just about 30 minutes. We'll come back, and then we will enjoy some of this amazing tortilla soup. All right, so we'll be back after this gets done. Okay, we are back. So 30 minutes later, here we go. I actually let it sit out for just about, I don't know, 5 minutes, just so it would cool down a little bit before I did the taste test. But of course, you'll see the picture, how it turned out. It's beautiful, it's delicious, it has so much flavor. So one thing that I want you to know, whenever you're dealing with lentils or beans, they soak up the liquid. So what I would tell you is if you have this like 2 days later, it's okay to add some more vegetable broth to it, okay? Because the vegetable broth, unless you get some without any sodium, then you might have to add a little bit of salt to it because it might dilute it. But if you just use, you know, with the kind that have some sodium in it, it's not going to take the taste away. It is just fabulous, all right? So that's kind of the thing that I want you to remember. This is also something super fantastic for freezing because this is such a big pot of it, and I'm big on freezing, and I have to travel this week, so we'll be eating on it, but then we're going to likely freeze about 2 containers full of it, and we can pull it out next week or whenever we want. So what do you do with this? You know, treat this like you would do any other case. Obviously, if you are not a vegan and a vegetarian and you have cheese, well, you can put some cheese on top of it. There are even some vegan cheeses. You can put that on if you want. If you also love avocado, slice up some avocado, put the avocado on top. The only thing I'm going to add are just some tortillas. So if you have tortilla chips, this is just a brand that I found that has the least amount of additives. It's just corn, you know, I mean, it works for me. So I'm gonna literally just crumble this up just a little bit like that. And we're gonna give it a taste. So good. And again, the thing I love this being plant-based, it's so rich in all the vegetables, and yet you have your protein, you've got black beans, you've got lentils, and it's delicious. So let's give it a whirl. Come on, Shelley. This is so good. I'm not missing the chicken at all. So try this out. You're gonna love it. Hey, and when you try it, send me a little comment back. Just say, hey, it was as delicious as you said it was. It's a hit in my house. Just any little thing. I also really appreciate it if you would like it. That helps the channel, you know, to get visibility. So I really appreciate that. This is also a reason why they won't stop sending it to you, because the algorithms out there determine what you get based upon your interaction. So if you like what I'm providing, make sure you're liking it, okay? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, just click the little picture. I come out with a recipe every other week. And again, the feature now is really kind of leaning on the non-animal types of recipes. I'm plant-based now, and I'm absolutely loving it. So thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.